When you were born a man, you go into a courtroom and you understand clearly that there is a preset menu that says you were born a man, fuck you.
Next video loading.
Just recently, Fast and Furious star Tyrese Gibson just got into a baby mama drama dispute with his second ex, Samantha Lee, because he refused to get back with her. Sorry, it was a failure to pay his child support in full. Despite Ms. Lee's efforts to reunite with her husband after the divorce, in a spiteful, raging behavior, Samantha took him to court for failure to pay his $10,000 child support commitment.
You're heartless,
says Gibson after an interview his ex-wife did to the Hardly Initiated podcast.
The truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision.
According to Gibson, he said that if she had people in her ear that influenced her into leaving her husband and her one-year-old child, she was heartless. That none of her friends would recognize her. That her whole impulsive reaction was an attempt to get money.
All right. Hold on. Look, man, I was not going to respond to this video of my ex that's now gone viral. She is loving it. Congratulations, you went viral again over something else that you said, because you're trying to build up your YouTube page and get your followers up. Listen, man, listen. If you had people in your ear that influenced you into leaving your husband and your one-year-old child, your innocent one-year-old child, we both were divorcee kids, grew up in toxic environments, torn in between our old family, new family, stepfather, stepmother. That's a life that we both lived. And you packed up a one-year-old, put a COVID mask on top of the Ring cameras, and I was literally in an airplane on my way home to fight for my marriage and my family. You're heartless. None of your friends recognize you. This is all about money. If you had friends in your ear, you're lying, you're gaslighting, you're playing. The only person that was in your ear was your mama. Her name is Patricia Randolph. You didn't have people in your ear.
Let it be known that Samantha's mom is a woman, according to Tyrese, that she is married and divorced 4 times.
The amount of people that was supposedly in your ear, you also had a whole lot of people like Aventer Gray, Taffy Dollar, Creflo Dollar's wife, who married us. You had a whole lot of people in your ear telling you that you're about to do something stupid.
Yet she chose to listen to her lawyer.
I remember when I made the decision, I was hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney.
Impulsive, and y'all are actually not going through anything that would make you want to leave your husband. Let's go even further. When Aventer Gray and Pastor John Gray were having their own marital issues at the time, you arranged a therapy session with Aventer Gray at our house. And when she walked out of her therapy session, she walked into the foyer where the bumblebee is, and there was 50 boxes with 7 or 8 people there packing up all the shit to leave the house. And I was in an airplane on my way home to try and fight and save our marriage. So if you had people in your ear at the time, they must be still in your ear, because you're still trying to get $20,000 a month for a 5-year-old. You make $160,000 a year on your own. This is all a game. You're clout chasing. You're something that I don't even know. A simple woman, not into materialistic things, don't care about fame and mansions and popularity. You're everything that you told me and all of your friends and loved ones that you wasn't.
And there you have it. What have we learned from this ordeal? Well, for once, Tyrese seems pretty hurt. After all, Samantha had packed 50 boxes of her belongings and left her marital house. I assume to go live with her 4-time divorcee, unstable mother.
And when she walked out of her therapy session, she walked into the foyer where the bumblebee is, And there was 50 boxes with like 7 or 8 people there packing up all the shit to leave the house. This shit is about money. You've hired 3 law firms trying to fucking suck me dry. I'm approaching $1 million in legal fees. The only person that was in your ear was your mama. Her name is Patricia Randolph.
A high-profile individual like Tyrese has done almost everything right to protect himself from a situation like this. However, I believe he precipitated into a quick marriage because he married Samantha only 2 years after meeting. In my book, The Journey's Guide of a Man Going His Own Way, I wrote that if you are contemplating marriage, it is good for you to date a woman for at least 5 years before you decide to pop the question for this same reason. In my opinion, 2 years is just not enough time for a high-profile individual just like Tyrese to think about marriage, especially when a lot is at stake. And this is the reason why you need to vet and wait for at least 5 years to see if these women can withstand the troubles and tribulations of marrying a high-valued man. Most women can't wait that long for marriage, and you begin to see the cracks in their behaviors. After a while dealing with all sorts of women, you begin to see a pattern. Women who are traditional love the kitchen and they are comfortable with their role in the house. Liberal women will fight you tooth and nail for the very first sign they deem oppressive. They are just not cooperative women. They are your competition. And you can't just live with women who feel they are your competition. And you can spot them out quickly because they can't help competing for the spotlight with you.
An entanglement.
I hope you learned something today about Tyrese's $1 million litigation that he was never supposed to pay, that almost cost him his freedom, and he is yet not entirely out of. I hope you've learned to distinguish the types of women that are out there. And take into consideration what I just said about waiting the proper amount of time for you to pop the question of marriage. Let's just get this conversation going. Tell me in the comments if you've ever felt that you are your girlfriend's competition and why. Then tell me what you did about that situation. I'll be reading your input.
Everything about the way you left me was heartless. It was evil. You never considered me, your marriage, and let alone your innocent 1-year-old child. She had to celebrate her 2nd birthday apart. Don't take my baby. I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?